Hey everybody, it's me Chris. I'm back in the kitchen. DJ Vanna Family Recipes. You gotta subscribe to my channel. I'll show you how to make everything. Today I'm doing a great classic Italian-American dish for you, baked ziti. I'm gonna show you how to make it so it's really spectacular. Let me show you what I got over here. I got my heavy medium-sized Dutch oven. We're gonna make a meat sauce for our baked ziti today. All right, these are the ingredients over here. I want to season my sauce with some Italian seasoning and oregano. I got some just plain ziti. Okay, I got a couple of cheeses. I got ricotta, grated Parmesan. This is some leftover soft sheep's cheese that I got from Italy. I'm gonna shred this up with 1 pound of mozzarella. I'm gonna shred that. I got my fresh parsley here. I'm just gonna shave this with my chef's knife, take the leaves off. I pick out the stems, I cut it up nice and small. I'm gonna need a little bit of red wine. I got my extra virgin olive oil. And then today, I'm gonna use these peeled plum tomatoes, only because I have a bunch of them that I stocked up on, and I'm running out of the crushed tomatoes. So what I'm gonna do is use these whole peeled, and I'll show you how we do that in a few minutes. I got some leftover pieces of bell pepper from something else I made. I'm just going to put those in with my onions and my garlic to make my sauce. And then since we're making a meat sauce, we need the meat. This is what I'm using. Normally I would use chopped meat, but I had already a bunch of turkey meat in the freezer. So I'm using ground turkey, and these are sweet Italian sausage. It's about 1 pound of the sausage and 1 pound of the turkey. I just took the sausages out of the casings like this, and I just broke it up into pieces that are about bite size. And so I'm gonna get my hands washed, and I'll show you what we do with these tomatoes. Alright, so look what I got here. This is an unbelievable tool for the kitchen if you can get one. It's a food processor, and it makes life really easy. Since I got to get it dirty for the tomatoes, I'm going to use it for my vegetables. I'm just going to chop up these bell peppers in big pieces. I'll put them right in. But watch how fast this is. The onions, you just want to give them a big chop like that. Okay. Just big chunks. And then my garlic, what I did, I got 4 cloves here. They're not big, so you could use as much garlic as you want. I just cut the ends off, smashed, take it out of the paper, and then I'm just gonna whiz this up, and watch how fast I chop. I'm gonna pulse it to chop my vegetables. There you go. My veggies are ready for the sauce. I'll show you how we do the tomatoes. Alright, so look what I did. I took my whole peeled tomatoes. Now those type of tomatoes have a ton of seeds. So I took this fine strainer over this bowl. I poured the cans of whole tomatoes in there. And I just basically broke them open to get out as much as I could on all these seeds in here. Because those types of tomatoes are loaded with seeds. So let me put this on the side. And then I got my tomatoes in here. And the food processor makes this really easy. So I'm going to pulse it a few times. And that's it. I got my crushed tomatoes. Put them right back in with the tomato juice, and we'll start to brown our meat. Alright, so my tomatoes are ready to go. I set them aside. I got my Dutch oven. I've already heated this up. This pot is hot. Now I want to add a couple tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And then carefully I'm going to go in with my sausage and my ground turkey. I'm going to break this up with my wooden spoon. I'm going to crank the heat up even higher to almost high, and I'm going to start browning the meat. Alright, so after about 6 or 8 minutes on high, you can see my sausage and my turkey meat. It's nice and brown. This pot is really screaming hot. I'm going to give it a toss, and I'm going to put in my vegetables. This is the onion, the garlic and the bell peppers, the couple pieces of bell peppers I had, that's going to go in. And normally I wouldn't use bell peppers, but I had them left over in the fridge. I didn't want to throw them out, so they just add flavor. I'm going to generously season with some kosher salt at this point. And remember, you want to season as you go. So we're seasoning right now. We're seasoning the vegetable, and we're seasoning the meat. And then when we add the tomatoes, we have to season again to flavor the tomatoes and add another layer. I'm going to stir this in and cook it for about another 5 minutes. Okay, so I had my vegetables in for about 4 or 5 minutes. And when they hit that hot pan and mix and start cooking with the meat, man, the smell is phenomenal from the garlic. And you can see it's all starting to get really well incorporated. I still have the gas cranking on high, and I'm going to add my wine. Just about a half a cup. I don't want it too much. It's not like a Sunday gravy. It's just a meat sauce. So I just want to add a little extra flavor. I'm going to cook this for about a couple minutes till the wine reduces. Okay, so look at this. Look at my meat. It looks beautiful. I got my turkey and my Italian sausage in there with those vegetables. And the red wine is reduced down. It looks really awesome. So now I'm going to add my tomatoes, my beautiful plum tomatoes. I took most of the seeds out, and I just pour it right onto the spatula. I don't want to get it all over myself. Just gently. And I got to lower the heat here. I'm going to lower it down to about medium. Start to stir in the tomatoes. And I'm going to add, at this point, I'm going to add my spices. So, again, nice generous pinch or two of kosher salt. And remember, when it comes to seasoning, you could always add, but you can't take away. So if you're not sure, go easy on the salt, and you could always add more later. My fresh cracked black pepper, about a third of our chopped bunch of parsley for some freshness and color. I want a nice flavorful sauce, so I'm going to give this about almost a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, about the same of oregano, and just regular white sugar. I'm just going to drizzle in about a tablespoon. I'll give this a stir, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this. I'm going to let it come to a gentle bubble on about medium low. I'm going to cover it completely and let it cook for at least an hour and just stir it every 15 minutes. Alright, so my sauce has been cooking about 30 minutes. I'm halfway there. I put up a pot of water. I'm starting to bring it to temperature to cook my pasta. I want to give this a stir. You know, I left the lid off a little bit to evaporate some of the water. And this smells really amazing. The Italian spices, the sausage, just really awesome. The garlic. What I did over here while my sauce is cooking, I started to shred my mozzarella. You can see this. And the way I do that is I did it today with my food processor. You could use just a regular box grater, but these things are great. That's why I recommend, if you can get a food processor like this, it makes things so much easier. So you just drop your cheese in. I got the attachment set up, and basically this thing has a sensor. Once you press down, it'll start to go. And just up and down, just till you get it to catch. And there you go, shredded cheese. Alright, so my water's boiling. I want to drop my pasta. I'm going to add some salt. And this is just regular Ziti. Goes right in. I'm going to give it a stir with my spider, and I'm going to use this to scoop it out right into some sauce. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Let me set this over here. My sauce is done. I shut it off. I already tried it. I tasted it for seasoning, and it tastes perfect. I don't need to add anything. I'm going to set this pot off to the side, but before I do, I want to reserve some of the sauce, and you need the biggest bowl you can find. This is my largest mixing bowl. I'm going to take about 3 or 4 ladles of my meat sauce. 3, I'll take 4. Okay? I'm going to leave that there to cool. When my pasta's done cooking, it's going to go right into that sauce. And it's going to soak up all that flavor and all of that liquid, and it's gonna be really great. I'll show you what we do after that. Okay, my pasta's cooked. It's still very firm, but remember, it's gonna continue to cook when we bake it. So I'm gonna scoop it right out into the reserved sauce and let it soak up all that sauce. And after that, I'm going to let it cool. If you don't let it cool, when you add your ricotta and the other cheeses, they will just disintegrate from the heat. I'm preheating my oven to 375. I'm going to mix this well and let it cool. Okay, so everything has cooled for about 15 minutes. I'm going to show you how you put together the best baked ziti of your life. Look at this. The pasta has soaked up all of those 4 ladles of sauce. So I'm going to start out. I'm going to add 2 more ladles of our meat sauce. Okay. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to add about a third to a half of this ricotta. Okay. Half of the remaining parsley. A generous amount of grated cheese. At least a cup. Half of the shredded cheese. Now this is the shredded mozzarella and the shredded sheep's cheese. And I want to give this a toss. I want to see how it looks in terms of the sauce. Alright, so we need a little bit more sauce. I added 2 more ladles of the sauce. And this is absolutely perfect. I'm going to switch. Put my baking dish on this side. And I'm going to add my baked ziti. Okay. Flatten this out a little bit. Oh man, this looks awesome. Okay, at this point, I want to top it with some more of my meat sauce. And I want to be generous here. You can use it all if you want. Okay, I think that's enough. I'm going to come in with a few more dollops of the ricotta. Just spread it out wherever. A little bit more. Try and get it even. The rest of my grated cheese going right on top. Try and get an even spread. And the rest of the parsley just for some color. And I'm going to bake this 375, half hour, 45 minutes till the top is nice and golden brown and bubbly. Alright, so about 45 minutes and my baked ziti's done. I'm going to let it cool for a minute or 2 before I try it. Look how nice and bubbly it is. Alright, my ziti has cooled a little bit. I'm going to try it. I'm going to take off this corner right here. And look at all that meat and cheese. Oh man, this looks good. Just going to give myself a little spoonful. Okay, I got some leftover meat sauce. I'm going to just put a little bit on top. Grate some Parmesan cheese. And I got some garlic bread here. I roasted some whole garlic cloves and mixed it with some butter that I'm going to have with the ziti. Let me give this a taste. The smell is incredible. Wow. Classic comfort food. You have to try this recipe. This is the best baked ziti you will ever have. And you gotta subscribe to my channel, DJ Family Recipes. Thanks for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one.